Hey, what's up, guys? It's Michael from the Honest Youth Pastor channel, page, whatever you want to call it, podcast. All of these things is what I do. And if you like all of these things that we do, the YouTube channel that you're watching right now, or perhaps the audio you're listening to on Honest Youth Pastor Off the Cuff podcast, or if you somehow found your way here from the meme page, understand that all of this is made possible by our partners over at odgapparel.com. If you are interested in gospel-centered gospel conversation starting apparel, you need to check them out. All of their apparel does just that, as well as they have some of our apparel over there as well, and our small group resource card game that you need to check out. But all of that is over at odgapparel.com today, and I urge you after this video to go over there and check them out. And when you find, because you will, some things that you want to buy, make sure when you're checking out you use the discount code HONEST10. That's going to get you 10% off your entire order. So it is a win-win-win-win, as Michael Scott would say. I hope you enjoy this video. We'll talk to you later. Today we're going to be talking with Leo from Jesus Wannabeez. You may have seen the video or swipe up link that I posted about 3 weeks back called, it was a song that he did called Sovereign Love, which is kind of like a Reckless Love cover, but it was a little bit different. I'm going to just go through real quick a real short kind of soundbite of that so you can kind of see the video, hear the sound before we get into this interview with Leo. And we're also going to take a real quick look also at another song he has from the book of Ephesians, just to kind of give you a sampling of the kind of music he does. So that after you hear this interview, if you like it, you can go follow him and support him, because what we want to do with this page, with this channel, is to push... not push, but put people in front of you and kind of nudge you towards them and say, hey, we think these are people that are worth investing in, that are theologically sound as far as we can tell. And we think that, you might be interested in them as well as we are. So real quick, we're going to take a real fast look here at just a really short portion of this video that he has of the song he did. And then we'll look at another video of the song he did. And then we'll get into the interview. Here we go. All right, so this is just a sampling. We will have the links to all of his stuff in the description of this video or the show notes. And then here's another one I want to show you. It doesn't have as much playthrough, but I think it demonstrates kind of his more independent stuff, right? So that was obviously sort of a rewording of Reckless Love, which is amazing. I mean, that was the first song I heard of his. But here's another one that he did off of Ephesians chapter 2, verses 1 through 3. And you'll hear a little bit about this during the interview. Not a ton, but he will touch on it. But I just want to give you a sampling of kind of his work, like what he's done that's not kind of a rewording of a song. But here you go.
Gift
All right, so you kind of get an idea there of kind of his sound. I'll be honest with you, like I'm not a huge metal fan, but I like both of those songs, and I think it's obvious. And we'll talk about this in the interview. You'll hear his goal here is to put the music he loves in front of people, but with theologically sound biblical messages, and kind of redeem it in that way. So, without further ado, let's get into this interview with Leo from Jesus Wannabeez. And as I said, in the links below, the show notes will be the links to all of his social media, how you can support him if you are interested in that. He talks a little bit about that in the interview as far as what he's got coming up. So let's get into it. Hey guys, welcome to the Honest Youth Pastor Off the Cuff podcast. Today we have Leo here from Jesus Wannabeez. How you doing, man?
Hey, doing pretty good.
Good. In case you guys don't know who Leo is or Jesus Wannabeez, you need to at least go check out his Instagram or his YouTube channel because he has, I wouldn't even call it a cover. It's more of like a redone version of Reckless Love that somebody, I honestly don't remember which one of you guys sent it to me, but somebody did. And I can't tell you how much I probably listened to that on repeat like 20 times before I was like, I've got to repost this. This is so good. So off of the bio that I got from your YouTube page, it said that you've been doing music for a while from what I can tell, correct?
Yeah. So I'm turning 32 in October and been kind of just at it probably since I was like 14, 15.
Okay.
So it's been quite a while.
Nice.
Honestly. But yeah.
Cool. So from what I got, and again, you have to fill in the blanks for me here a little bit off of your bio from YouTube, but you were in like a really heavy metal band for a long time. Looked like you said you toured a little bit. And then in 2015, I think it was that I read, everything kind of shifted for you a little bit. So if you don't mind getting into a little bit of your testimony here,
Sure.
Between where you were seeking out fame and everything and touring and really in that scene to kind of transitioning to where you are now and kind of getting us up to the day a little bit.
Yeah. Thanks. So, I mean, I kind of just grew up, I started drumming and slowly kind of transitioned within the band that I had. Depending on who we didn't have, I started picking up other instruments. Mm-hmm. So we ended up not having a singer, and then I started singing, playing the drums, and then I didn't really like being in the back, being a singer, and just I want to do guitar, I want to be up front, I want to be the front man and all that kind of stuff. So I didn't really like that being in the back. So even from as young as I started, it was kind of like I just wanted to be the main guy,
the man out front. Yeah.
So you can see my sin there. But so it just grew up wanting to make music. I think I kind of started getting heavier and heavier as I grew up in regards to music. I was kind of grew up with like more of a grunge type stuff, and started looking into heavier stuff, and a lot of interesting things started happening. There was a lot of kind of like internet sharing. I mean, the internet was already big back then, but it wasn't as big as it is now. Mm-hmm. But there was a pretty big explosion, at least in Europe, for us, where a lot of people started sharing our music, and so we kind of just wanted to leave Mexico. I'm in Mexico right now, and we just wanted to kind of tour all over the place. And one of the members that was in the band at that time, he was part of a pretty big organization here in Mexico that is in charge of organizing festivals and bringing in, big bands. So we got to do a lot of shows, a lot of gigs with, really, really well-known metal bands in the world. And so, but yeah, it was kind of a transition, 2014, 2015, where it was like, not just music wise, but there was a lot of things going on in my life where I was just in the pit, in the hole, talking about every aspect of my life was wrong. Okay. And it just started to dawn on me, and I started to realize, specifically in one of the aspects of my life, I was like, man, I messed up. I need help. And I always kind of grew up, as a Christian. I grew up in the church, and Um, so it was kind of easy for me in a sense to kind of look into Christianity because I always claimed to be a Christian.
Hmm.
I guess just the typical way of, yeah, Jesus is my savior, but really didn't understand, what it meant to follow Christ, the lordship aspect of being a Christian. And so, living a hypocritical Christian life,
Yeah.
Um, but really the Lord just started showing me my sin, specifically in one aspect of my life. And then I started looking for answers in regards to that specific sin. And, I just found a deeper issue, which was I was even more sinful than I thought. It wasn't just that;
Yeah.
it was
It's the beauty of
everything in my life.
sanctification right there. Yeah. It
Yeah,
just keeps showing like, man, I'm horrible.
exactly. Yeah, it was like, man, I'm in a bigger hole than I thought I was.
Hmm.
And looking for answers, starting to read the Bible, listening to a lot of sermons online, and all of a sudden everything just started changing.
Hmm.
My desires towards making music, I was like, man, I'm just gonna quit. And it was kind of kind of wrestling with, should I be in here and kind of redeem
Hmm.
my lyrics? And I did that for a while, but it was just like this moment in time where I just needed to quit. Like I could not be. I didn't know enough of the word. I didn't. I just wasn't in a good place to, you know, be kind of in the world and be
Hmm.
salt, which I kind of had that motive, that intention in the
Yeah.
beginning, but I just had to cut the whole thing out. And I quit my band. I started, looking for a church to serve in, and kind of just went, that was kind of more of a radical, just like drop everything
Yeah.
and get into church, get plugged in, and get to really know Christ. Um, and so that was, in that meantime, I met my wife. Well, I mean, she wasn't my wife at that point, of course. I
Yeah.
met her. We started going out and everything, and that was kind of the biggest shift in my life, which was just like, man, I'm just done with doing life my way, and I want to follow the Lord. Um, and it wasn't until I think 2017 where um, I heard like reformed Christian hip hop.
Okay.
And I mean, I love,
Yeah.
kind of all kinds of music, but
Hmm.
yeah, I was just like, I was blown away by like Shylin and Beautiful Eulogy and just like
Hmm.
different artists that do like these explicit lyrics. It's not, there's a lot of bands that, they're Christians and stuff. And they're more, I guess, like evangelistic, I guess, in their approach,
Yeah.
trying to be, maybe not so upfront and trying to draw people in. And not that that's a bad thing, but I just felt like, man, it'd be really cool to have kind of redeem
Yeah.
the genre that I'm, really passionate about, and do something for the Lord, but be just upfront,
Hmm.
sharing the lyrics and stuff. And so kind of just started that a while back ago.
Gotcha.
And really not with no expectations, honestly.
Yeah.
Um, just wanted to do it. And so that, I mean, I started a while back, and something really crazy happened, which was kind of 3 weeks ago. I had set my Facebook page, Jesus Wannabeez, on
Hmm.
deletion. It was, programmed to be deleted. I was just like kind of thinking, maybe this is a waste of time.
Yeah. I think we talked about that a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah. So it was like,
Hmm.
and then all of a sudden I started getting all these messages, and I was like, what's going on? And I started seeing like people reposting, and I was like, maybe I shouldn't.
Yeah.
So I don't know. So,
Yeah.
but it's been an interesting couple years, kind of trying to figure out what the Lord wants me to do. Um, music wise, we do video, we do a bunch of different things that me and my wife are doing, specifically in Spanish.
Hmm.
Um, kind of just focused on doing ministry in Spanish, and putting out resources for Latin America. But I don't know. I've always loved this kind of music, and I guess I think the Lord has given me some kind of gift in it. And I don't know, maybe we're looking into, you know, actually taking it more seriously, because
Yeah.
it's just been kind of like more of a hobby thing. So
Gotcha. Yeah. Well, and I think, and that's obviously we're going to talk about this a little bit, but again, somebody shared the video. I don't know who did it, but um, I shared it on the stories, and then I shared it with a couple other guys that that I'm just friends with, completely off the page as far as that goes. And like everybody that listened to the song we're talking about, as far as your again, it's not a cover, it's you rewrote some of the lyrics to Reckless Love, but everybody loved it. So what specifically about that song, what made you do that in particular? And then we'll kind of move off from that. What made you sit down and be like, hey, I just want to, was it just one of those things where you were bored one day and you're like, hey, I just want to give this a shot? Or like what brought you to that point? Because obviously that song, the song in general was popular, but I can't tell you how many people that have messaged me or the guys that I texted to were like, man, they were blown away by, like you said, just the out front theology to it. Just the musical composition behind it. So like, what brought that about for you? Was it just, you were just bored one day?
Maybe. No, actually it was, so, I mean, we're in a Presbyterian church, me and my wife. And so it's pretty, in a sense, kind of, there's traditional stuff and, but we've been, we've mixed in more contemporary music at the same time, because we do the music, we help with the music at the church. And so we just love mixing it up, having hymns and stuff. And so we've even grabbed songs like that, like Reckless Love. And we've done them in the church, but we've always just switched up the lyrics. We're like, man, I kind of feel like, this guy was onto something. Like there's some good stuff in it, but at the same time, there's bad stuff. So I don't know, just kind of grabbing it. And so we kind of first just did it in the church context. It didn't even say sovereign love. It said wondrous love. But I guess I was actually talking to a friend and I was showing him some of my music and he came up with the idea. He's like, hey, what if you recorded a song where you actually grabbed a song with, not good theology or not, precise theology, and you mixed it up, fixed it, and just put it out there. And I was like, yeah, that's a good idea. I'm going to give that a shot. And I thought of that one specific. I mean, I think musically, I think it's a great song. I think it's super catchy. It's there's just something to it that just sticks. But yeah, the word choice is the problem, right? So, it's like, if you can, so I don't know. And I mean, I can't say that there's not sin in my heart, as I do that kind of stuff. There's obviously like confrontation, wanting to confront and be, I don't know, you could call it maybe quarrelsome, I don't know, and just like go against heresy and that kind of stuff, but at the same time, it's like, man, no, I want to look at this song from a different perspective. And that's kind of more the shift, more than just correcting. It's like, let's look at God. Okay. Because it's not even the reckless part that just bothers a lot of us, it's the kind of, I think the bridge is where it's more, the focus is just me. Like, look at what God can do because he's just like crazy about me. Yeah. And it's like, man, it's like, I don't want to sing music like that. I want to sing music where it's like, let's take the shift off of us and look at how amazing God is. And so that's kind of more the heart behind being like the lyrics, and being very precise about, like, if anybody's reckless, it's us.
It's us. Yeah.
That's it. So, and praise God. And then, that part where it says, praise God, the sovereign one, because if he wasn't sovereign, then I would have no hope in my recklessness.
Amen. Well, obviously it's connected with people, because I think I viewed it right before we got on here. It's got like 87,000 views on it. So it's one of those things where just within the last 3 weeks, it's obviously, I mean, every time, because I'm telling just a little transparency here, I listen to it at least like every day. So on my way to work, but it's one of those things where it's obviously connects with people. I mean, that's the biggest thing I got from that, is that there's stuff that we share all the time, or that I see other people share that, everybody's like, oh, okay, that was cool. But I think just, again, you're talking about just lyrically and how that shifts a little bit, that connected with a lot of people that said, hey, I mean, wow. I mean, just, again, the out front, ness of the lyrics.
Yeah.
really connected with people. So, and I've seen, I mean, I think there's only 3 videos you have on there, but you're telling me you've done some of this in church before. So, like as far as shifting up the lyrics before, so you're telling me there's some hidden gems that aren't recorded yet that we don't know about. Is that what you're saying?
Um, yeah, there's a couple songs we've done.
Gotcha. Now, on that note, you probably won't, you may not ever put those out. But so, what do you have? Because I know, like, reading through the comments on that video, people are very interested in saying, I mean, I'm interested too, about, hey, is there anything coming out later that you got going on? Because they see what you've done, with that song, the out frontness of just the theology and just all of that. And I think there's a big gap within the Christian music industry, especially, of just that kind of out front boldness, thickness in the lyrics, I guess I would say. So, and I saw in the comment, like everybody was asking, hey, is this on Spotify? What do you got coming up next? And I want to give you an opportunity to kind of say, I mean, where are you kind of, because you said this was a hobby, so I'm not sure if you got anything like super laid in stone, but what are your ideas of maybe pursuing this a little bit more, if that's even there?
Yeah. Well, I mean, because it did just start as a hobby,
Yeah.
I had already kind of just nailed that whole pursuing, being anybody in music. And our heart was more focused on the church that we're at, and serving in that way. And at the same time, it was like, oh, people at the church have asked us multiple times, hey, do you guys have music that and so we started recording. And then now with the whole COVID thing, we ended up doing a bunch of recordings, and we're putting those things online. Obviously, that stuff is in Spanish, more congregational, but I was, even as I said, like I wanted to delete this stuff because I felt like it was just like, why even even at all have to think about this stuff? If there's other stuff that I feel like I'm being called to do. But I don't know. I guess just seeing how there's been people who have been encouraged by the stuff is what has really gotten both me and my wife to think about, maybe this is something we should do. And maybe not just as a hobby, but actually, make time for it and make space for it, and take it seriously and take it maybe to the next level in the sense of commitment. And I don't know, because in a sense, it kind of felt just like a waste of time. It was like, oh, just record some songs. I think like the other track I have up there, I mean, I posted that in 2017, I think. 2018, can't remember. So it's been up there for a while. It had less than 1,000 plays, and it's just kind of like, and I don't have the time or the mind to go into Facebook and be posting.
Yeah.
And, but then it just happened kind of with this, it just happened on its own. Obviously, God in control of the whole thing, but I was just like, wow. And seeing people who have even said like, I don't even like metal, and this song brought me to tears. That kind of stuff. I'm like, wow. It's just like, there's like this opportunity to do something that is already blessing and encouraging other people.
Yeah.
And that's where more than coming from a heart of, oh, we want to be known and we want to, get our music out there. It's like, no, people are actually, I've received emails of people who are, expressing their gratitude towards the thing. And I was like, I wasn't even thinking this could happen,
Yeah.
So, I mean, we are totally for working harder on the project. And I have a bunch of tracks already kind of recorded and ready to just tweak up and specifically add lyrics and record vocals to, which is that kind of like Ephesians EP that I've been kind of working on. It's just there. It's been there for a while now. So hopefully it won't take too long. And I think we're probably going to be releasing track by track. So kind of more of a single type thing, and then, forming a whole EP. But that's what we're working on. And a lot of people are like, oh, you should grab this other song and reform this one. But I don't want to be the guy who,
people will try to pigeonhole you real quick on that.
Yeah. And then at the same time, we don't want to be known for oh, these guys, you know, a lot of people take it negatively, right? And,
Mm-hmm.
oh, you know, you're just using other people's
Yeah.
work to make yourself famous or whatever. It's like,
Yeah. With all of the
that's not what we're
positivity,
trying to
there's
do.
always the negative comments that come.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so at the same time, I want to guard my own heart
Mm-hmm.
in that sense too, because, you know, it's so tempting to just be like looking at the threads and wanting to answer every single thing.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's like, man, it might not be a good idea to, you know, for my own heart and for other people to
Yeah.
kind of put that stumbling block and just be known for grabbing
Mm-hmm.
all the wrong songs and making them right, you know?
Yeah.
So it's like, I think we're more drawn to, and I'm more inclined to just creating more music
Yeah.
in that genre. And yeah, same with the same idea, you know, being theologically sound and biblically saturated, and, you know, exalting Christ as explicitly as we can. And so that's kind of what we have in mind. But yeah, it's taken the form of not a hobby now.
Yeah. Yeah, well, and I don't know a ton about, when I say this, I don't know anything about music or production or anything like that. So my understanding is, though, it takes a long time. So with that in mind, where can people, find you, follow you? What's the best places for that? So as this happens, because again, the guys that I do know that make music say it takes a long time to kind of get all of that together. So as people are kind of waiting for those tracks to come out, where can they best follow you? I mean, as far as Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, kind of where can they search for you at?
Man, I mean, it's kind of hard because I've been trying to keep up with things that I didn't even have. You know what I'm saying? Like, for example, like I started getting a lot of messages on Instagram. I mean, you contacted me through Instagram, right?
Yeah.
So it was like we started talking on Instagram, and it's like I had I think six, but I didn't even have the video up on Instagram.
Yeah.
You know, so I just had it up on YouTube, but somebody reposted it on Instagram. So I was like, I need to put it on Instagram. Same thing with the other track. And I'm looking into Instagram. I'm like, I don't even understand how this works. Like, what's up with this, like, kind of the story thing and then reels. And I'm like, I'm trying to catch up.
All I know is Instagram. Past Instagram, forget it. I'm not real good at Facebook,
Really?
and I just put videos on YouTube. So Instagram, that's all I can just DM me and I'll help you with Instagram. Past that, I don't know anything.
Oh,
man.
man.
I don't know anything about social media.
Oh, well, that'd be super helpful. But yeah, I mean, I'm trying to. I mean, what's exploded the most, I guess, is YouTube. So, but I'm trying to feed all three things: YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. Some people asked about like supporting us, and so I opened up a Patreon as well.
Gotcha.
All of them are just Jesus Wannabeez with a double E and a Z.
Okay.
But yeah, trying to keep people up to date with what we're going to be doing, and I don't think it's going to take long to upload new stuff due to the fact that I already had a bunch of things already tracked. So, but yeah, definitely going to be updating all four things, you know, including the Patreon, the YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook.
Fantastic. All right, man. Well, what we'll do is we'll try to get all those and put those in the link as well and the show notes, so people can kind of easily find you there. It'll just be a quick link there. So, hey, that is all I have today, man. Thank you. I appreciate you jumping on.
Thanks a lot, man.
Coming on. We want to try to get out. Want to try to do as much as possible is use this platform we do have to point people toward people that are doing very creative things like yourself, but are theologically sound as well, and say, hey guys, there's stuff out here that's, you know, just here, go find it. Here it is. So hoping we can direct some people your way there as well. That, again, like you said, that email you got, they may not like metal, but when they listen to this, they go, wow, there's some substance here. I can appreciate it. So that's the idea. So, hey, I just want to thank you for jumping on. I appreciate it a lot, man.
Man, well, praise God. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
No problem. So there you go, guys. That was our interview with Leo from Jesus Wannabeez. Hopefully you found that helpful. And if you're looking for music like that, go check out this channel. Check out all the descriptions below. And we'll be trying to do a little bit more of this sort of thing in the future as far as interviews, and bring in some unique stuff that we found because you've sent it to us, and using the platform to get it out to more people. So, hey guys, thank you for watching, subscribing, and following. We'll talk to you later.